All right, second workout is Han, Leia, Luke, or somewhere in those order. It is a 13-minute workout. The first 5 minutes of the workout, one athlete is running max distance. Then after the 5 minutes, so immediately after the 5 minutes, we have 3 minutes for another athlete, athlete number 2, to do as many either bar muscle ups, pull-ups, or ring rows as possible. At the end of that 3 minutes, so at the 8-minute mark, there's 5 minutes to build to a 1-rep max clean. That's athlete number 3 does that. So each person is only going to do one thing. So you have to designate which person is doing which. You're stuck with that. You stay with it the whole time. You'll have to designate that when you get here and check in. All right, on the run, it'll be done in the parking lot. The parking lot will be set up in our normal run that we do in the parking lot, the normal 200-meter in the parking lot. There'll be 4 cones. One will be at each corner. The run will start at one of the cones. Every time you pass a cone, you get 5 reps or 5 points for that. Your judge will be sitting there with their clipboard and just tallying mark every time you pass a cone. At the 5-minute mark, you're done running. Okay? So if you're halfway between cones, you don't get credit. You only get credit for when you pass a cone. Okay? At the end, you'll tally those up. Each cone equals 5 points, so one complete lap would be 20 points. Right? You have 5 minutes to get as far as you can in the parking lot. There's really nothing that you can walk, run, skip, whatever you want to do. You just have to stay on the outside of the cones. You can't cut through at any point. From there, we're going into 3 minutes of bar muscle ups. That 5 minutes of the run will end. There'll be another judge inside with the bar muscle up person. We're going to have all the pull-up bars be the same height. Okay, so that day we'll be doing them only on the 6-foot pull-up bars, and they'll all be at the same height. So you'll need to, before you start your workout, if you're shorter, you need to get a box or plates or something and set that up for yourself so that you could jump up to the bar and do your bar muscle ups or pull-ups, whatever it is that you're doing. On this, the bar muscle ups are worth 8 reps per bar muscle up. A pull-up is worth 3 reps, and then a ring row is worth 1 rep. Okay, we'll start with the ring rows. Whoever wants to do them, just set them up here. You could set your own ring rows up or your rings up however you want them to be. The standard is that your judge will make sure that your feet are underneath the rings. You lay back to locked out arms, and then either your shoulders or your chest come up to touch the rings, back to locked out arms. The rep starts with locked out arms and finishes with your chest touching. Okay? As long as your feet don't move, I don't care what the other parts of your body are doing. So do like a kipping one. It's like come down, drop your hips, and then. So that's totally fine as long as your feet don't move and as long as your chest or shoulders touch the rings. There's really no gray area there. You're just trying to move and move and move as fast as you can and get as many reps as possible there. Now, those are worth 1 rep apiece. So if you get 50 ring rows, you get 50 points. Okay? You could do pull-ups. The standard on the pull-up is that your chin must get over the bar and you start locked out. Okay? These can be done butterfly, kipping, or strict. And you could do 1 at a time, or you could do 30 at a time, whatever you want to do, whatever works best for you. Matthew, can you do it on this one, because I don't know if you're in frame there. Do 3 strict pull-ups for me. So strict pull-up, just getting your chin over, back to locked out, right? Good. Cloud, can you do like 2 singles on a strict pull-up? You could do singles on these. You just have to make sure that when you jump up, you show complete control and you almost like a complete stop at the bottom so you're not jumping into it. Can you do it one where you jump into your first one? Or you use that jump to pull yourself over. That would be a no rep, okay? A gymnastics kip, a normal kip is acceptable here. Just make sure that your chin gets over the top. Whatever you do, if it doesn't look as pretty as Matthew's do, that's fine. You can do whatever type of kipping motion that you want, even if it's not as pretty as that. You could jump up and do singles with these kipping ones as well, just kipping and pulling up and then coming down. Again, with these, we just have to make sure that we show control with a lockout at the bottom and then before we move into our next one. Your judge will be sitting somewhere on the side of you, and all they're watching for is that your arms get locked out and that your chin gets over the top, okay? If your chin doesn't get over the top, they're not going to count it, okay? They don't even have to technically say no rep because somebody could be doing pull-ups so fast that they may not even know. They're just keeping a tally mark and they're tallying down as you go. You could do butterfly pull-ups as well, and this would be more like where if I feel, or if I'm the judge and I feel like your chin's not getting over, right, then I just don't say anything because I don't have time. Those reps are so fast, I don't have time to say no rep and keep going. So the easiest way as a judge for you to count that is if I'm counting Cloud and I feel, and I'm counting, you can count out loud or count to myself, do like 5 or 6. And she's going and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So if she doesn't get it, I just repeat the number on the next one, right? Because if you try to say no rep in between those reps, those are so fast, right, that you don't really have time to say no rep 5. Okay, so just keep track to yourself like that. That's how when I'm judging, I keep count to myself on pull-ups that way, right? Those are worth 3 reps, so 3 pull-ups equals 9 reps, right? Bar muscle ups. Matthew will do a bar muscle up here. Same start, make sure you have complete lockout at the bottom and you get over at the top. You can string these together with kipping, right? Whatever you want to do. Nice. Good, that's good. Right, now the main thing on these, that we show lockout the bottom and that we lock out the top with the shoulders slightly in front of the bar. Can you do one? Now you press out and you have to show this, okay? Now at any point in this bar muscle up, if you let go of your hands, like lift your hands up like there, right? That's a no rep, even though she's already completed it, okay? Good, come down, right? At any point, if your hand slips off the bar, that's a no rep. It does not count, okay? You have to show complete control at the top. Can either one of y'all go like straight into a lockout or no? So you have to pass through some portion of a dip. Sometimes you'll see people go and they'll just go straight to a lockout. That does not count, okay? The main thing with these bar muscle ups, as far as the standard that most people miss, is that the feet, your feet on a bar muscle up cannot go higher than the pull-up bar, right? Right? If her feet were to go higher than the pull-up bar on the way up, right, before the turnover, then that would count as a no rep. Now, if she goes and she does a turnover and her feet continue to move up, but she's already turned over on top, that is a good rep, right? But if her feet come up as she's moving up, that is a no rep and it does not count. That typically tends to be the biggest no rep for bar muscle ups more than anything else. Okay, and the third movement of this, or the third round, third 5-minute section, is a max clean. This clean can be done as a power clean, split clean, squat clean, whatever, right? The main thing on this, the bar has to start on the ground, obviously, okay? When you are going for this, your bar can already be loaded. So while your partners, and anything that you do before the start of your 5 minutes does not count, okay? So your bar can be loaded while your partner's running, while your partner's doing the bar muscle ups. You could be on your barbell warming up, adding weight, doing whatever you want to do. But nothing counts until it's your turn to go. So until that 8-minute mark hits, nothing counts officially. Before you lift, you have to tell your judge what it is that you're lifting, okay? So if Matthew's hitting 135 pounds, if he hits it and he's like, woo, and he drops it, right? It's a no rep if he did not tell his judge how much it is. Even if your judge looks and they do the math themselves, 135. If you don't declare your weight, it does not count as a lift. The other thing is, after you finish your lift, you have to show control at the top before putting it down. A lot of times people will stand up from their clean and they'll just drop it off their shoulders, right? You have to stand at the top, wait for your judge to say good, and then you'll drop it down. Judges need to tell their athlete in some way that they've completed a good lift, okay? So weight starts on the ground. You could do a power clean to the shoulders, whatever you want to do. Or you could do a squat clean, just set, reset. Perfect, good. Both of those Matthew showed a good lockout at the top. It does not matter. You do not have to designate if you're doing power or if you're doing squat. Whatever feels good to you at that point, you do it. Just make sure that you show control at the top before dropping back down. I hate to see somebody hit a top lift or their PR or personal best, and then you not get credit because you dropped it too early or you forgot to declare what it is that you're doing, okay? You'll have plenty of weights here. If you need additional weights, then you can always request them, and you'll request them to either me or Jamie, whoever's coaching, whoever's the head coach at the time, or head judge. But we won't be allowing you to do incremental weights like 1 pound or 2 pounds, and we won't be allowing you to have like extra sets of 10s or extra sets of 15s. Everybody will have a designated set of weights, but if you think that you're going to do 315 and you want to do with 3 wheels rather than 2 wheels and some change plates to get there, that's different. But if you just want more 10s so that way you can add differently, that won't be allowed. You'll be giving a set number of weights, and you need to figure out what your jumps are going to be on your own with that set given number of weights. So in closing on workout number 2, the person that's running is trying to get as many cones as they can. Each cone is worth 5 points. Each lap is essentially worth 20 points. You get credit for passing a cone, so hurry up, finish. Your judge will be letting you know how much time you have left. We'll be using a timer that'll be on a stand somewhere over by the door to where everybody can see it. On the bar muscle up, pull up, ring row, you have to designate what you're doing. You can't switch back and forth for whatever the movement. So if you start with bar muscle ups and you start failing, you can't go to pull ups. If you start doing pull ups, you start failing, you can't go to ring rows. So whatever you start with, you have to finish with on that. Bar muscle ups are worth 8 points, pull ups are worth 3, and the ring rows are worth 1. On the ring rows, start locked out, feet underneath the rings, chest or shoulders need to touch the rings, lock back out to start the next rep. You can do whatever you want. I don't care about kipping or anything like that on those ring rows. On the pull-ups, you have to start at a dead hang in some way, get your chin over the top. Those are pretty much it. You can do singles or whatever, butterfly kipping, strict, whatever on those. On the bar muscle up, start from a dead hang position, pull yourself on top. You have to pass through some type of dip, shoulder slightly over the bar with a locked out arm. Any questions on the, and then on the cleans, you could power or squat. Just make sure you designate the weight that you want to do to your judge, that you show control at the top, and you are allowed to have weight on the bar whenever you start your lift, when it's your time to go, and during your other partners going, you can also warm up while they're going. Okay, you don't have to wait till your time to start warming up. At 3, 2, 1, go, at the 8-minute mark, you can make your first attempt or your only attempt if that's the case. All right, any questions, comment below.